First of all, I just want to say sorry for being late. I've come all the way from High Wycombe, where I've been speaking with other people from Dragon's Den and some other people for a university. It took me 2.5 hours to get here, so I do apologise about that. When I checked last night, it was an hour and 7 minutes, so I got caught in a bit of traffic around that, so I do apologise. Looks like we're going to be ready to go.
Hey.
Okay. Got me? Testing 1, 2. Can everybody hear me okay? Excellent. Cool, can't stand those things. Right, my name's Warren Knight. I'm going to be sharing with you today, really taking you through 7 steps to help you get a better understanding in regards to what digital is doing for us as businesses online now. Throughout this presentation, I'm just going to be sharing with you some statistics. I'm going to be talking about some templates. I've got some things that I want to give away to everybody today, just so it really helps you get a better understanding of being a digital leader to help you get sales. Just to give you a bit of an idea about me, I started my very first business at the age of 22. I went on to go and work with Disney for about 5 years. I sold $1 million worth of sales in a month. I then specialized in social media and digital marketing 7 years ago. I've co-founded 2 IT companies. One of them within the space of a year was a 6-figure turnover. In the space of 2 years, I got investment into that business, being a £1 million valuation of that company. So I've always been very, very focused on sales, but for the last 7 years, it's been all about what digital can do for me, both in regards to building my profile, but what it can do for my business to help me save time in the business to acquire those sales. So I'm just going to be talking through various different techniques, tactics that I've used over the last 7 years, and a little bit about sort of social media and digital marketing. How many people here have heard of a guy called Anthony Robbins? You heard of Anthony Robbins? Yeah, okay. Yeah, have you heard of Anthony Robbins, or are you just dropping your phones? I can hold the phone if you want. So Anthony Robbins is that big American guy that's got those big, huge hands. But something that really resonated with me when I actually saw Anthony Robbins here it was in 2007, I saw him here for 3 days, where I actually got to walk on burning hot coals. He literally just gets you in a mindset that just helps you do things that you really didn't think that you would be able to do. Something that Anthony Robbins talks about is the 6 human needs. Now, with these 6 human needs, what I've done, I've taken these 6 human needs and thought about it from a digital perspective. So how can we engage with our online customers, understanding what it is, what are those indicators that make them want to engage with us as a brand, to build trust with us as a brand, and then ultimately buy from us. So he's nailed them from an emotional perspective. So I want to do, and then how we take that from a digital perspective. So the first one being about certainty. So each one of my IT companies were all about understanding what the yeah, this mic's not going to work, is he? I'll take that out of my pocket. And how I actually solve that problem. So where is that certainty around? So just let me know, how many of you are business owners? You actually own your own business? Okay, cool. And you're doing marketing or sales for the company? You marketing? Okay. Yeah, a little bit of both. Wearing a different hat. So really getting understanding in regards to how those different customers buy different things. When I work with clients, I get a really good understanding of who that target customer is. Not so much that person's, so one of my clients, her name's Debbie, she's 34 years old, she drives a Range Rover, she's got 2 kids, she lives outside of London but within the M25, she shops in Marks and Spencer's, she's a mum but she works part-time, so she has an aspiration to want to be an entrepreneur, she likes reading Mo magazine, she wants I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. That's who Debbie is. I've got real clarity in regards to what my target customer looks like. That doesn't mean I don't have a second target customer, but my core focus is on Debbie. Now, how Debbie goes online and searches for something is going to be slightly different to the way my second target customer would go and search online. She might write something one way round, and the other target customer would write something the other way round. But understanding Google gives us this information. Google actually tells us how people are writing things in different ways. And there's a great tool that allows you to do that, and I'll share that with you later on. But understanding what that person wants, what they're looking for. One of them is being certainty. I know Debbie wants to solve a problem in regards to learning how to use social media online, so I built an e-learning platform that allows her to learn that from the comfort of her own home. That gives her certainty of solving a problem that she's got. The next one's variety. So when I look at variety, it's about pushing content out online. You have to understand your business, but actually position your business from an educational perspective. So to put some clarity behind that, I wrote an article about the different types of analytical dashboards that Google has, that I've designed some of them, that other people have actually designed. I wrote an article about that, and I put that onto a third-party platform called Business to Community. Now, that platform has millions of users. I don't have that many coming over to my personal website, but what happened was I wrote something, I put it up here, Google picked it up and then wrote about me to their audience of 4 million people. So I solved a problem in regards to what people were looking for, understanding the analytics, and then I gave variety around telling people about that and put it into another platform. I'm servicing these different needs. The next one, significance. We all want to be unique. I've just come from speaking to a group of about 75 individuals that are at university. 60% of that room were looking to be entrepreneurs. They were all looking to start a business. And before I started speaking, I had the pleasure of this one lady coming up to me, and she said, I saw you speak in 2010, and you spoke about a specific style of how I can make money online. She took that, she went and built a product. 2 years later, she sold it. And that was just from her coming to watch somebody like me and taking the action around that. So I got her in the room to get up and speak and tell everybody. She's a student there, but she went and she took action, and she actually sold a business, which helps her come from a place of uniqueness. The next thing that she goes into, she's going to be able to build on the success of what she did, making her unique in the room. And I wanted her to feel that in the room, because nobody else had been able to achieve that outcome. We all want to get connected, and that's a great thing about social media. If you want a copy of this presentation, it is available online. I will be tweeting about it. Probably, I should have set it up before I came here, but I forgot. I can send it to you directly. So if you follow me on Twitter, later on tonight, I will send it out on my Twitter account, and you can click on the link and go and see the presentation. There's also about 40 other presentations all in my SlideShare account. Otherwise, just type in Warren Knight SlideShare, and that will take you to my account with this presentation. Where you will be able to then go into that account and you'll be able to share what it is that I do, sharing the love. We all want growth. You guys are here today waiting for me to turn up because you want to learn. You want that knowledge from people that have actually gone out there and done it. They've got sales from it, they've built businesses, sold businesses, whatever it might be. Keep doing what you're doing. It's exactly what I do. When Gary Vaynerchuk come over here, I paid to be in the audience to go and see him, to listen to him. So really think about how you can actually grow your knowledge. And contribution. We all want to share. So I've spoken about this presentation being in SlideShare. If you like it and you enjoy it, go and share it with your community. That's one of the biggest things that I love about LinkedIn at the moment. I don't know, so how many people are on LinkedIn here? Just let me know if you're on LinkedIn. Okay, put your hand up if your profile's 100%. Okay, there's only a few people in the room. It's really important that you build your profile to be 100%. Why? Just like Google, it's an algorithm. If you're in business and you want people to come and find you, or even if you're employed in a company and you like to be headhunted, whatever that looks like, LinkedIn will not put your profile up when somebody's searching for something like you or what you do in your business if your profile's not 100%. So get that 100%. get a title, get all the summary, get all the companies that you worked in, put some other information in there, get recommendations. It all helps you get to your profile being 100%. So it's really important that you get that so that you can then, inside of LinkedIn, contribute that. I've got over 65 articles inside of LinkedIn. Some of those articles have got over 5,000 views at it. So take that information, because when you get it, people do want to go and share it. They want to contribute in regards to what it is that they're doing. So these are the 6 human needs that Anthony Robbins talks about. But from my perspective, it's really about you understanding what they are. Because once you understand what they are, then you can go out with your business and share that message. Marketing, me marketing. So everything that I've gone through I used to be a professional hip-hop dancer when I was 19. I was running my own club by the time I was 21, starting my business at the age of 22. Whatever that journey looks like, all of the time through everything that I've done, whether I've grown businesses, failed at a business, the one thing that stayed the same is me. I've learned through everything that I've gone through, which has got me to where I'm at today. You've got to really take control of who you are, and it's about building a business. The business sits behind you. You're the person that's driving that business forward. If you don't get sales into that business, if you don't drive those sales, if that's not your strength, then you need to find somebody that's good at sales to have the passion that you have for your business and get sales into that business. Without sales, you don't have a business. So really understand what your strengths are and work to those strengths. Be a thought leader. Understand who those influencers are in your industry. Model yourself on those influencers. Rachel Eleanor, who used to be on Dragon's Den, I was talking with her this afternoon, and I told her something which she didn't know. My very first website that I built back in 2008, I modeled my website on her website. I wanted to become a thought leader in this industry. She was on TV. I modeled myself on her, not her business proposition, not her coloring, not her branding, but the style of the website. I thought, if she's paid money for somebody to do that, I'm going to model that. And I told somebody to go and take that website and put it into my energy. Look at what other people are doing out in the marketplace at the moment. Not specifically maybe in your industry, but how well they are doing in the industry. And then you can use that to model what you want to achieve. So this is the Google Analytics that I was talking about. This is where Google, they've got 3.4 million people in their Google Plus account, and then they've got over 500,000 people in Twitter. So between those two accounts, there's nearly 4 million people. You can see here, got 332 likes and 83 people shared it. And that's Google talking about me as being a digital marketeer. That's them tweeting about it. So I can now build on the success of this. Because of this, I've had phone calls. I actually got a speaking gig because of it. So putting something out there that only took me the time to write something, as now the return on investment for that is really high because the amount of money that it earned me. This is Social Media Today. This is another place that I write articles on. So Social Media Today, they've got about 1.2 million people on their Twitter account. How can you get other people to talk about you in a way that enables you to get that traffic that drives through to what it is that you're doing in your business? One of those ways is protecting your time and actually learning to say no. One of the hardest things as a business owner, whether you're doing the sales or the marketing, is actually thinking that you can wear all those different hats. You've got a sales hat, you've got a marketing hat, you've got an operations hat. You've got a beautiful hat like that young lady from Just Flow who's dancing around. Do you want to come up here and do a little dance for us? She's got a great hat. But we all wear different hats. Understanding where our strengths are and learning to say no around those areas. Operationally, I'm crap. That is something that I'm not good at all. So if somebody asks me to go and do something in an operational environment, I will say, no, this person here looks after that. You've got to protect your time, focusing on things that are important to you. Look at this little mind map. I don't know if you've heard of a guy called Tony Buzan, who is the original guy that built mind maps. Well, this is a mind map, just giving you a bit of an idea in the day of a life of where your time can be lost. And is anybody here on my email list? Is anybody? Did they ever? No, they're not on my list. Okay. So 2 nights ago, I found the most organized man in America that's written a book about how to be organized. So I invited him into my webinar, and I got him to talk to my audience about time management. So I recorded that webinar. If you want to go and see it, type in Warren Knight Vimeo, and you can go and watch all the webinars that I've produced. I bring in experts. I bring in PR experts, time management expert, Facebook marketing experts to come and share their knowledge with my audience. And I have a database of around about 7,000 people that engage with me from their email perspective. So when I run webinars, I have well over a couple of hundred people on those webinars. So the value that I've got to bring for them to trust me is that I keep bringing good people in to share their knowledge. So Andrew is an expert in this. I'm not, although what was really good to know that the strategies that he uses and the tools that he uses are some of the tools that I use. So that was good. Knowing your business is the third step. So the biggest part of when I work with companies is actually getting those individuals to realize who is your target customer. Really doesn't work with that in my pocket, does it? Is that working? Yeah, okay, cool. So if I just give you a for instance, so are any of you a digital marketing company? Are you, what sort of business do you have? Apps development. Okay. So, what's your name?
David.
All right, David Warren. So, David's got an apps development company. David could potentially have 2 different types of target customer. But the way that David would communicate his message to those target customers would be very different. So, one of the routes that David would take would be direct to his customers. So, he might want to work with retailers. He might say, you're a retailer, you've got an online store, we can build you an app that allows your online customers to buy products through your smartphone. So David is going direct to the customer, and the value that he brings to that customer is he gives them a personal service, he wants to add value to their business, and by working with him to those different retailers, they're being part of a community. David's got other retailers that he's worked with. Maybe he can cross-reference the products that these retailers are doing to help each other grow. That's what these direct customers will be looking for. They want that. Now, David might take his business and go to a retail trade show. At that retail trade show, David might speak to the organizers of that retail trade show and say to them, actually, I want you to be a channel partner with me, and I want you to drive your traffic to me. So David says, okay, if we're going to do that together, what's the value that I bring to you? Well, the value is that every client that David closes, they want a kickback. So they're going to introduce him to his database because they're a channel partner of his, but what they want is they want a financial return. That's what's important to them, to every single customer that they bring him. So the message that you send out has to be different. You're speaking direct to the customer, you're giving them the benefits of the product. If you're working with your channel partners, you're going to give them the benefits of how much money they can make from you because they're adding value to their customer. Do you see the difference? So it's really important as a business that you understand the message that you give to one customer will be different to another customer. Understand what those human needs are. If what they're interested is in this, then you need to focus on this for your business. Does that make sense? Great. So, defining your customers. As I said to you earlier, I've got Debbie, she's 43 years old. What do your customers look like? So what does those different type of customers look like? Start with your existing customers. Who are they? Where do they hang out? Where do you get that customer from? Do you get customers through referrals? So do other people recommend you? So do you have a referral scheme in your business that allows those people that refer to you to get money? Go to your existing customers, and if they're referring people to you, incentivize them to bring you more customers. Does that make sense? So use those existing customers to get clarity around that. Who's your competition? How is your competition getting those customers? How are they using social media? One thing that I do, when I come to a show like this, I go onto their Twitter account and I nick all of their Twitter followers. Because if all those people are coming here to this show to get educated, they could potentially become customers of mine. So think about your competitors. If they've got your customers, think of a strategy, a way of being able to extract that data. Now, I make that sound very easy. It's not, but it needs a strategy in place, and you need tools to make that happen. Analyze your products and your service. So write a list of all the features. It's very different when you're communicating your message, the features inside of the business. You need to communicate what the benefits are. So a feature inside of one of your apps might be, it's a one-click upsell. That's the feature. The benefit is it saves time. It stops them going through a 3-step process. Think about the feature and explain it in the way of a benefit. Choose specific demographics. So have that target audience. You can have a second layer of that, but when you've truly defined acquiring customers in that demographic, then you can expand out. And then psychology. Where do they buy? How much income do they have coming into the house? What type of lifestyle do they have? How do they behave? What's the terminology that they use online? Really get an understanding of your target customer. So this is Debbie. She's 38 years old, Caucasian, wants to have a business, couple of teenagers, income level. Really define it. Get really granular with that information in regards to your target customers. Some of my clients have got 6 different types of target customers because they've got 3 different go-to-market strategies, because they've got 3 different types of revenue stream. How can you get income coming into your business, understanding those different types of customers and channel partners? So these are the key words that I was talking to you about. This information that you see here, so I'm just going to take you through this very quickly. This is a high street store. You can probably guess whereabouts he is by the certain keywords. The tool that I use is Google's keyword research tool. Now this tool has been designed for pay-per-click, but the way that I use it is to understand how consumers are writing different things online. So the column that you see down here is where I start. So I put this keyword into Google, then Google tells me how other people are searching for that same outcome and how they're typing it. So Marylebone, London Marylebone, Marylebone High Street, hotels in Marylebone. So London Marylebone, Marylebone High Street, and Marylebone are 3 different ways that you can talk about the same thing. Different people write things in different ways. You can see that I write a list down here, and then I've got a column here of 3 different ways of saying the same thing. The reason why we do this is because this becomes the way that you content market your business online. When you come to do posts inside of Twitter, when you come to call a category a name, when you come to write a blog and what the title of that blog's going to be, this is where you come to help understand that target customer. Does that make sense to everybody? So when you have this document, once you've done your research, you never have to go and do that research again, not until you come up with a new product or your business shifts in the marketplace.